Alright, in today's video, I want to talk about exactly how permanent servers work in oncehuman. I've seen a lot of discourse around them, and especially if you're a returning player, you might be interested in how to join a permanent server. Or if you're coming to the game for the first time and you were turned off because of the seasonal model, now is the time to check out the permanent servers if that is the thing you're looking forward to. So, permanent servers are currently already in the game, and it's kind of confusing how they work, and they're not exactly called permanent servers, they're called non-shutdown servers. Before we get into today's video, I want to talk about the sponsor, which is oncehuman. Oncehuman Mobile is officially scheduled for April the 23rd, featuring the full post-apocalyptic open world, including the bizarre themes and deviants, the multiplayer experience where you can team up with your friends, whether that be on mobile or PC, with full crossplay and cross progression, including all of the unique survival and base building systems with crafting and gathering, and the deviation system where you can collect unique creatures. There's already over 30 million pre-registrations for oncehuman on mobile, with the link in the description, where you can also get 2 exclusive charms by simply pre-registering on Apple or Google Play. So I've got a bunch of characters here, a bunch of old characters, but in short, how permanent servers work, or non-shutdown servers, is when you create a character, you will choose any scenario you like. So for example, if I wanted to do a Manibus and I wanted to do, let's say, a Lunar Oracle, you know, these ones are pretty popular, one of the most popular servers right now. You join any scenario you like as you normally would. So for example, I'm going to join my main character because this is actually in the settlement phase, and we'll talk about that when I'm in game. So in oncehuman, a seasonal server has phases. There's up to 6 phases depending on the scenario you play. Some scenarios might have less, 4 or 5 phases as such. I want a scenario that has, I think, 4 phases. It's one of the shorter ones. It's a Prison Risk Clash, which is a PvP server. But what happens is on the last phase of the server, where it would usually shut down, is you have something called the settlement phase, which is the phase I'm currently in. But currently, when you hit a settlement phase, your server will not shut down. So after 23 days, prior to the March the 13th update, what would happen is your character would be put into Eternal End after these 23 days had ended, right? After the phases had all been completed, I would have to sign up to a new scenario if I wanted to continue playing. But now how it works is when the scenario settlement phase ends, it simply becomes what's called a non-shutdown server. Effectively, every single scenario in the game currently never ends, is the short way to put it. So no matter what scenario you join, what you play, it will never end. And you're probably thinking, if every single seasonal server never ends, won't that mean there's a surplus of servers? Yes. So what they've done is, if there is more than one of the same type of the same scenario tag, so let's say there's 2 Prison Risk Clash scenarios, right, that I'm currently in, 2 Prison Risks, they will merge if there is more than one type, so there is not too many permanent servers. So there will only ever be 1 permanent server for every kind of scenario tag. So if you're playing the PvP server, there will only ever be 1 Prison Risk Clash scenario that doesn't shut down. As every other Prison Risk Clash scenario, and this is kind of confusing, I know, once it ends settlement phase, will merge into that world. You'll keep everything, you'll have all your stuff, and you'll simply become a world. So there is a layering system in oncehuman if you've never played it before. I'm on world 1, Prison Risk Clash generally only has 1 world, but if you're on Manibus, you can have up to 10 worlds. And how it's going to work is your server, once that settlement phase completes, will merge into the non-shutdown server, and it will become a world in that server. So you can switch between all the different worlds, and this is to accommodate more players and have more resources, so you can have more players in effectively the same server, right? So a server becomes a world on the permanent realm, or the permanent non-shutdown server, if you will. That's the short way to put it, and I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but all you need to know, the short, simple answer is every single scenario never ends, and if there is more than one type of the same scenario, it'll simply merge. That's all it is, and especially if you're coming back to oncehuman, or you were turned away from oncehuman because of the seasonal servers, I think now's the perfect time to come back, especially if you're looking forward to or always wanted permanent servers, because now they have them, and you'll just play out the scenario as you normally would. Now, there's actually another really important, I guess, aspect of non-shutdown or permanent servers I want to talk about here, and that is that there is a really good benefit here, even for veteran players like me that do enjoy the seasonal model. So a lot of people like me that still play the game, we actually like the seasonal model, right? I don't mind it at all. But there's a big benefit even for us for permanent servers. So on the 29th of March, they're introducing cross-character progression. This means everything, absolutely everything. Your armor parts, your mods, your blueprints and their stars will all transfer and merge into one character, or one character database effectively. So what that means is you can have alt accounts in the same region. Keep in mind it has to be the same region, and you'll have access to everything you have. This is important because what this allows you to do is you can have a character on a permanent server and a character on a seasonal server, and they can both be contributing to each other in real time. If you earn a mod on your permanent character, you can use that mod on your seasonal character. And this is one of the best parts about permanent servers that I haven't seen talked about enough, is you can have a character that farms your mods on a permanent server without having to worry about phases. So if you've been familiar with oncehuman, you know that pro mode unlocks in phase 3 on Prism or phase 4 on Manibus and Evolution's Cool and Way of Winter. That can be kind of annoying, especially waiting out to actually get to the grindy content that you might enjoy, especially mod farming being one of those. But now you can simply have a character on the permanent realm, on the permanent server, and do that mod farming while you go and play your seasonal character to get seasonal rewards such as Mitsuko marks, right? And there's another aspect to this. They're removing controllers on the 27th of March. Controllers, if you've never played oncehuman before, are a currency, or a material rather, that you would use to get the mods from a silo or a monolith or a dungeon, right? Now, you can simply go into any character you like, do a dungeon, and get mods without needing that unlock tool or that resource, which is a controller, to get the rewards. So you can spam silos and dungeons now as much as you want without having to worry about, you know, needing controllers. It's a really nice time gate that they've finally gotten rid of that allows you to more freely grind out mods that you might need, especially if you've had bad RNG like me on a lot of builds. But now that that's gone, you can actually, you know, take your time a little bit more and farm whenever you want. And especially with permanent servers and cross-character progression, you now have the absolute freedom to do whatever you like and play whatever and wherever you want without any time gates, without any constraints. And again, permanent servers are honestly one of the best things to happen to this game. And again, they call them non-shutdown servers. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.